Welcome to Syndit Gaming. My name is Kaorisyn. Kyoudit cannot be here right now because he is on vacation. This is a temporary environment that I am doing. This is my place, but we will be moving to our laboratory next week. Doing a review on the gaming PC that I just built. I built it solely for usually playing WoW and other games, and video editing and whatnot. So I'm going to do a review of everything I bought and what I think about them, and my past PC, my brother's PC that he has right now, that I also built. This will be my third gaming PC build that I have done in the last 2 years, so kind of up to speed on most of it. But yeah, let's get right into it. First thing that I bought was the Intel Core i5-3570K. It was a toss-up between the 3570K and the FX8350, the 8-core. This is only 4 cores, guys. No hyper-threading, nothing, but gaming right now does not benefit from hyper-threading. The Intel Core i5 is about $20 more. I don't think there's a wrong choice in either of the two, really, at all. Core for core, Intel is slightly better. So if you're playing games that don't optimize more than 4 cores, Intel is probably going to do slightly better, which it's not a huge deal. It's not game breaking. The FX8350 is still a very good chip, and then I heard rumors lately that if you buy one of the higher end FX cards, they're going to come with free games, probably AAA titles and whatnot, so that could help you sway it over to AMD side. AMD is still very good. My first build that I did for gaming and my brother's build both had the Phenom 2 quad-core 955 Black Editions. Overclocked those using Thermaltake Freos. Big ass coolers, but they're amazing. They're loud, but they are amazing. But yeah, AMD is very solid. I mean, they are a little bit cheaper, but they're still very solid. So if you're doing a gaming build, don't always try to go for the best of the best of the best. It's not needed. So AMD is still very viable. So I went with Intel. I think the main thing that pushed me was the memory speed. Intel boards and CPUs, they work with your RAM better than AMD has so far. It's quite a bit better, actually. So I went with that because when you're trying to render videos and whatnot and you want that speed, Intel does win. Now, that's only when it comes to memory. When it comes to actually using all threads, when I think Sony Vegas Pro and whatnot, they utilize more than 4 cores, and I'm pretty sure AMD 8350 will smash an i5-3570K. But other than that, it's more or less preference. So I went with 3570K. For choosing motherboards, I actually chose a Gigabyte Z77X UD3H. Now, every board I've ever used was an ASUS. They're very good boards. I've never had a problem with any ASUS board I've ever used. They're very good boards. I mean, if you're watching this video, you probably know who ASUS is. Now, I went with the Gigabyte due to the fact that the price range I was looking for a motherboard to fit in with my price range, I had about 3 options. I had an ASRock Pro 4, I believe, a Z77 Extreme 4 or Pro 4 was one or the other. There was an ASUS Z77 LX, I believe, and they were about $130, and then this Gigabyte Z77X UD3H, and it's about $134. And I did a poll on Tom's Hardware, very good website, by the way, guys, use it. Did a poll on Tom's Hardware, and the winning was a Gigabyte, and they said it was a very solid, very, very good motherboard. So I chose this, and this motherboard's amazing, guys. It looks great. It's almost all black, and the theme of my computer and everything was pretty much black. So this board is very solid, very good board, guys. I do recommend this board. It's very good. Now, when it came to getting a power supply, I've chosen the same power supply 3 times. I have chosen Corsair TX650 Enthusiast Edition. I've gotten this power supply, this exact one, 3 times. It is amazing. You probably will never need anything more than this unless you're doing 2 GPUs or more. And honestly, if you have probably two 660s, this would probably still be sufficient. Two 670s, probably not. If you're running two 670s though, then you probably know what you're doing quite well, and you're probably going to rock an 850, 950, whatnot. So, but Corsair and what's the other brand? Antec has some pretty decent ones. I would go with Antec, and Seasonic are probably the only three power supplies companies that I would go for. I mean, not to say that there are any other bad ones, but let's just say each brand has a faulty line of PSUs. Corsair came out with the HX 650 modular power supply, and it had a chirping noise when it would wind up and down. And Corsair is fantastic, but they had a line of power supplies that were complete shit. So I mean, it's not to say that some companies are all bad, some companies are all good. Each has their ups and downs. So before you buy a power supply, which in my opinion is one of the most crucial components in your computer, because it can destroy it completely. So read reviews. If it's got more negatives than positives on the reviews, then just don't get it. Get a very solid one. I used Newegg.com to purchase every single piece of hardware out of all three of my last gaming builds. So very good site. For RAM, I bought 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR3 1600. Now I went with 1600 just because it's nice and in the middle. I mean, you can get 1800 or 1833, I believe it is, or 1866, I don't remember. But try to steer away from 1333. It's slower, and for gaming you kind of want faster memory. I mean, the CAS ratings, I think this is like 99924 or something like that. It's I don't remember exactly what it is. The CAS latency's on here somewhere, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, my board recognized it perfectly. Changed it the BIOS to 1600. I mean, it runs great. It's fast. So I got two sticks of 8 gigs for 1600. Now they're for 16 gig. My last two gaming builds had 4 gigs of RAM. For gaming, it's pretty sufficient. I mean, you really don't need more than that. I would now not go any lower than 8 gigs. 8 gigs is great. Like right now I'm running this, it has I'm only using 2.5 gigs of RAM, and when I have gaming on, when I play World of Warcraft and it's completely maxed out, ultra settings on everything, I'm using I think 3 gigs of RAM. So that RAM I bought solely for rendering videos. You know, I mean, it's needed. So that's the only reason I bought this. And when people say, oh, I want to future-proof my machine, you cannot future-proof a gaming machine. There will always be better. There will always be more demand for higher settings, for higher components. My computer may last for a couple years, and it may be solid for a couple years. I will upgrade again. That's all there is to it. You know, I mean, not that I will have to, but I'm going to want to, just because I can. But I lost what I was talking about. Anyway, going to graphics. There, EVGA 660, the Superclocked edition. Now, I was torn on this. I wasn't going to go any lower than a GTX 660 or 7870 from AMD. Now, my last two cards were 460s, very powerful cards for the price range. I didn't need, you know, a 670 or 680 or 690 or a Titan, because I don't play super demanding games such as Crysis 3, which I'm actually going to get because I want to play it. But I can deal with those on even medium settings for playable frame rates. It doesn't bother me. And if it did, maybe I'll get another 660, you know. But for now, I built this machine for World of Warcraft. And this GTX 660, factory overclocked. I have not touched it. I have not touched any of the settings. Factory overclocked, runs WoW over 60 frames per second with Fraps running, and it's amazing. This 660 is an ungodly card for the price range. I think mine was about $224, and this is the 2 gigs of RAM version, and it's got a 192-bit interface, I believe. This is the 192-bit version, and yeah, this card is amazing. I mean, for the price range, it's so hard to beat the price-performance ratio on this card, because you can get a 670 for about $100 more, or like $150 more, and you're only going to gain maybe 10 frames. And that's nothing when you're already running at more frames than you can recognize anyway. So, I mean, if you're trying to build a mid-gaming PC, even if you have a higher end everything else and you want to get a mid-game graphics card, a 660 it's amazing. It's the best thing you could get probably for the price range. I mean, AMD is good, but I just hear a lot of bad things about their drivers. I've never gone with AMD, so I can't say anything about them for their graphics cards. But I've never had a problem with NVIDIA, and I've had 3 different ones. So I've actually had 4 different ones. 4 different ones, and they're all good. Now, here was probably my hardest selection, to tell you the truth. Because I wanted an all-in-one water cooler. My last one was a Thermaltake Frio. It was huge, it was loud, but it worked amazing. My brother still uses it in his gaming case, and it's fantastic. I got the Cooler Master Syndit 240. It's a dual rad radiator with 2 120mm fans. And it's quiet and it cools like a beast. The i5-3570K stock is 3.4, and I have mine overclocked to 4.3 right now, just kind of a conservative overclock, just because I don't really need to push it. I mean, it's not needed for me. It would be nice. I could, eventually check to how good the chip that I got is. But I'm doing 4.3 stable right now. I already ran Intel burn test, ran Prime 95, and it was stable across all cores. Everything's fine. And the hottest I got using this, back it up for you guys, the Syndit 240, the hottest it got was 70 degrees Celsius. That was the hottest. And that's pretty damn good. And yeah, the only thing I had an issue with my case. The top of my case comes with one 200mm fan and can have 2. So that means in the middle of there's only 4 mounting holes for screws in the middle of my case. And there isn't anything on the outside. So I had to do 4 fans. I did push-pull, mounted them 2 in my case, 2 out of my case, mounted them to each other to the rad. So I got push-pull on top of my case, and it's perfect. It fits perfect, and my machine is on right now, right here. And I bet you cannot hear it at all. And my temperatures right now are all 30 degrees Celsius. So the Cooler Master Syndit 240 is amazing. And the reason I got this, I built my entire computer using bundles. That's what I've done the last 3 times. Nothing but bundles. It saved me, I think, $90 to $110, I believe. No rebates, not the rebates, the instant bundle combo packages. And I got this with the processor, the i5-3570K, and it was like $30 off. So I said, why not? I'm spending $10 more with this and getting a Frio, because the Frios I think is $54 on Newegg. This was like $89.99 or something, and it cut $30 off, so it's pretty good. In total, I spent $1,060, not including the operating system. I had the operating system from a buddy. He works at Microsoft. I play well with the guy. He works at Microsoft, and I got it for like $40. A full Windows 7. I got Windows 7, guys, not Windows 8. Got Windows 7 full version, Windows Home, $40. So about $1,100 for everything in my computer, and it's a beast. It completely smashes my last gaming computer. It's quiet. I got a case that I actually wanted. My last computer I built, I kind of skimped out on the case, and I mean, I was happy. The cases aren't important, guys. They're really not that important. But get a case you want. I can't emphasize that enough, because you look at it and you want to be proud of what you have. Well, buddy? Hey guys.
Hi, guys.
I'm doing a video real quick. Can you guys go out there? Hey, baby girl. I will. I know you can play Xbox in a second, buddy. I like you too.
Is that you?
Yeah. Can you guys go out there though?
Is that me?
Yeah. Can you go out there?
You
can. Go out there for a little bit. You can come back in 5 minutes, alright? Go.
That takes fun.
I know. Come on, guys. You can come back in a second.
Just wait a minute.
Anyway, guys, sorry about that. With my kids and my woman. But yeah, just get a case you want. Because you look at it and you really want to be proud of what you have. And I'll try to show mine real quick. Try to show the inside for you guys, just to see what it looks like. The cable management in mine is decent. I was getting late for work, and I wanted to hurry up, and I really haven't taken time to fix it after that. But let me grab this camera real quick. That right there, that is a 23-inch monitor, and that's my case right there. This is the Phantom, the original one, the original Phantom. It's about 120 bucks on Newegg, and it's on right now. It's quiet. It's huge, by the way, guys. It is huge. Let me take off the side real quick. That is the inside of my case. We go in here, that's the graphics card right there. It's a 660. It's actually quite a big card in my opinion. And that right there is my nice water cooler. It's my double fans, and there's actually fans right on top, hidden up in there. But yeah, can you guys hear that? I mean, that's not loud at all. And that's quite nice. Took a fan, threw it right there. It used to be up on top, had to move it. But yeah, I mean, everything works. It's a fantastic case, guys. Like I said, I just get a case you guys want. You know, I mean, if you gotta skip out on a few dollars, I mean, some people really don't care about what case they have, and some people do. And I didn't think I'd be one of those people that cared, but after my first one, I really wish I would have got a case that I liked. And this is one of the ones actually, truthfully, the case that I wanted, they don't make anymore. I wanted the Antec Landboy Air, the red one. It was one of the cases I was looking at 2 years ago, and it is, in my opinion, just the sexiest case ever. It's such a nice case, but they don't make them anymore, so I went with the Phantom, and this is probably my number 2 choice overall. And this case it's beautiful. It's huge though, guys. If you want a smaller case, which honestly this case is huge. If you want to get a smaller case, get the Phantom 410. It's $90 up to about $100, and it's amazing. I should have got the 410, truthfully, because I didn't need a huge case. But yeah, just get the case you want. But overall, the performance, when I had the quad-core AMD 955 Black Edition, and I had that overclocked to I think 3.8, 3.9, and I think stock it's 3.2. So that one, it was fast. I mean, it was pretty fast, but that was 2 years ago. And now with these new Intel chips, it is so fast. I mean, it's a 9-day difference. But if you have a quad core right now, and you're already running over, 3.2, 3.3, you really don't need a new processor. If you're having issues with games, I would recommend getting a new graphics card. They just came out with a GTX 650 Ti Boost. Now 650s in general they're like real low-end cards, but they're still quite expensive. Well, expensive is subjective. Sorry guys, I don't know any of your financial situations, but in my opinion, they're still quite expensive. The new GTX 650 Ti Boost came out, and I think it's about $170, and they said it's pretty good. They're trying to party between the AMD 7770 or 7790, I believe. They're trying to work in that range, because 7770 it smashed anything that NVIDIA had in their price range. So yeah, if you guys got any questions about anything, I mean benchmarks, if you want me to run anything, if you have any questions about any component in my PC or any components in general on what you think that I would recommend a new gaming PC, then I'd be willing to answer any questions. My girlfriend, her little brother's wanting to build a PC, and he's got money constraints, and I put together a PC for him for, I think it was about $640, and it was very good. It was a very good PC. The only thing it didn't have that I didn't want to put in it, which can change, I didn't put aftermarket cooler in it. Now you don't really need an aftermarket cooler unless you're going to overclock. And a lot of people aren't really too savvy into computer tech, so they don't need to, or they don't want to, or you can purchase that later. I mean, it's not hard to upgrade the cooler at all, and they're not that expensive. I mean, you can get a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus Evo for $35, and it's great, you know. And yeah, I mean, you could build a low-end gaming computer, and it will destroy consoles. It will destroy consoles completely. And you go, well, I hate playing with the mouse and keyboard. You can play with the controller. Just go get a wired Xbox controller, hook it right up, and then you're good. So yeah. Oh, also with the new, I'm a huge fanboy for Xbox. Always have been. I'm waiting for the new consoles because now, you know, the tech has come out and it's saying that the specs are going to be an 8-core, a 1.68 core, in both systems, with shared 8 gig of memory for the graphics and for the memory. So it's going to be pretty good. Yes, computers will still dominate. I mean, it's always going to be, for anyone out there, consoles will never beat a PC. Straight up, it will. But I'm a huge fan of Halo, so I'm really into Xbox. And when I say huge fan, I don't mean I casually go on and play Halo. I mean, I straight up MLG style play Halo. Ever since I was like 16 years old, I was into Halo. And wanting to go to tournaments and doing the MLG stuff. So when I say I'm a fan of Xbox, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Xbox and console games, because I'm more of a console gamer before than I was a PC gamer. I just like PC tech, and started playing WoW. That's really the only game I play for computer. I may not look like a nerd, but I'm a pretty big geek. But yeah, this is one of many videos that come from my new channel. We're starting something up. Post videos every single week. We're going to have a lot of Let's Plays of games that we enjoy. We're a huge fan of RPGs, my brother and myself. So you might see some Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10, some Legend of Dragoon, some Champions of Norras and Baldur's Gate. I don't know, just anything when we're bored, really. Streaming wise, we might stream a little, but more or less we're going to be doing some Let's Plays and whatnot. And talking on here, we're going to have a show. Try to have it every single weekend. We set up an area, so we got some stuff going on. And yeah, I mean, if you guys are interested in anything, you want to know anything, ask us any questions you want. My name is Kaorisyn. My brother Kyoudit is not here, and we are Syndit Gaming, and we are here to stay. And we will see you then. Bye.